You clean the throttle body on your Japanese engine, expecting a smoother idle. Instead, the car shakes, surges, stalls, or throws a check engine light. But here is what most owners never realize. The engine control unit spent thousands of miles learning to compensate for those exact carbon deposits you just wiped away. So did the cleaning actually damage something, or does your engine simply not know what to do next? Every modern Japanese engine runs a quiet calculation behind the scenes. As carbon slowly coats the throttle plate, the engine control unit, your ECU, doesn't just ignore it. Instead, it learns. It measures, adjusts, and saves a new offset in memory, all to keep idle steady. Over time, that memory becomes a custom fit for your particular engine's wear and tear. The dirtier the plate, the more the ECU leans on its learned corrections to hold the idle at target RPM using a feedback loop called a PID controller. It is a digital handshake. The ECU expects less air, so it cracks the plate open a touch more or tweaks the fuel trim, and the engine purrs on as if nothing changed. But when you clean away years of carbon in one shot, the math goes out the window. The throttle plate now lets in more air at the same angle, but the ECU is still using yesterday's numbers. Suddenly the idle surges high, drops low, or bounces. Some cars stumble and stall, others race above normal. The software's old offset collides with the new, cleaner airflow, and the PID loop starts hunting, trying to catch up. On a scan tool, you would see the commanded throttle angle and the actual plate position drift apart, while the adaptation value, what the ECU thinks is normal, lags behind reality. This mismatch is not a sign of broken hardware. It is a memory problem. The ECU's stored offset no longer matches the physical world. Until the system relearns, the idle can behave unpredictably, sometimes triggering a check engine light or a P0068 code if sensor readings get too far out of sync. What feels like a mechanical failure is often just the software scrambling to adapt to a suddenly changed intake. The real risk comes from misunderstanding this invisible process, and that is where each Japanese brand's approach to relearning makes all the difference. Toyota and Lexus owners have it easier than most. Their engine control units, ECU, are built to self-correct, quietly relearning the new airflow after a throttle body clean, usually within a few minutes of idling or a short drive. No scan tool, no battery pull, just let the car idle and the numbers settle back to normal. But not every Japanese badge plays by these rules. Honda and Acura take a different route. Factory manuals call for a full battery disconnect, sometimes 15 minutes or more, to wipe the old memory clean. Once the battery is reconnected, the engine needs to be started without any electrical loads. The next step is a high RPM soak, holding the throttle at 3,000 RPM until the radiator fans kick on, then letting the car idle in park. Skip the battery pull or rush the process, and the old adaptation lingers, causing rough idle that can stick around for days. Mechanics have seen owners swap throttle bodies only to find a simple idle relearn would have fixed everything. Nissan and Infiniti are stricter still. On most models from 2005 onward, the ECU locks the throttle adaptation in place. A scan tool, one that can trigger the throttle relearn command, is often the only way to clear the stale values. Some models offer a timed pedal and ignition sequence, but the steps are precise and easy to flub. Miss a beat and the idle stays high or dips too low. Mechanics report that even after a perfect cleaning, skipping the scan tool step leaves the engine hunting, surging, or stalling at stoplights. Subaru, meanwhile, leans on a long battery disconnect, 30 minutes to be safe, followed by a gentle idle. Mazda splits the difference, with some models learning automatically and others needing a scan tool or a pedal dance. The lesson is simple. What resets a Toyota may do nothing for a Honda, and what works for Nissan could leave a Subaru idling rough. The right relearn is as brand-specific as the badge on the grill, and skipping it can turn a routine cleaning into a week of chasing symptoms. A can of cleaner on the shelf doesn't look dangerous, but the wrong chemistry can turn a routine throttle body wipe into a nightmare for modern Japanese engines. Most throttle bodies built since the mid-2000s, Toyota, Honda, Nissan, Subaru, Mazda, Lexus, Acura, Infiniti, use layers of epoxy or Teflon-type coating on the plate and bore. Under that, delicate sensor varnish shields the throttle position sensor from moisture and stray voltage. Hit those surfaces with a carburetor cleaner or a brake cleaner loaded with chlorinated solvents, and you risk stripping the protective finish in seconds. The result is conductive residue that bridges sensor contacts, or a bare aluminum bore that starts to corrode, confusing the engine control unit with erratic readings. Overspray is the silent culprit. When solvent is sprayed directly into the throttle body, it seeps behind the plate, pooling around the throttle actuator and creeping into the throttle position sensor housing. Once it dries, even a thin film can trigger a P0120 or P0068 code, or leave the idle wandering as if the throttle body itself is failing. Manufacturers warn against this for a reason. A single cleaning mistake can mimic a failing sensor, and owners start chasing expensive parts. The safest method looks almost old-fashioned: a lint-free rag sprayed lightly with a throttle body-approved, non-chlorinated cleaner, then used to gently wipe the plate edge and bore. No direct blast, no soaking, no flooding the actuator. Mechanics know that one careless spray can short a sensor, but a careful wipe preserves the coatings and keeps the electronics dry. It is not about being overly cautious. It is about protecting a system designed to work with microns of tolerance and millivolts of signal. In the world of drive-by-wire, chemistry matters as much as mechanics. For anyone used to old-school cable throttles, the temptation is strong. Just grab the plate and swing it open for a better cleaning angle. But on modern Japanese engines, that move can turn a quick maintenance job into a repair bill that stings. Drive-by-wire throttle bodies rely on a sealed electric motor and a tiny gear train, plastic or brass, just a few millimeters thick, to position the plate with surgical precision. Forcing the plate open by hand, even with gentle pressure, can shear those gears or knock the actuator out of alignment. The result? The throttle will not return to its exact home position, and the ECU senses something is off. On Toyota, Honda, Nissan, Subaru, Mazda, Lexus, Acura, and Infiniti, that usually means instant limp mode. The car drops power, the check engine light blinks, and the scan tool reports a throttle actuator control fault. Cable-driven throttles could take a bit of muscle, but drive-by-wire is a different animal. Delicate, electronically monitored, and unforgiving of rough treatment. Mechanics have opened up actuators to find stripped teeth and cracked housings, all from a screwdriver twist meant to save a few seconds. Once those gears are damaged, there is no easy fix. The whole throttle body needs replacement, and a relearn procedure is mandatory before the car will idle properly again. Manufacturers warn against manual plate movement for a reason. The system is built for micro movements, not brute force. The safest approach is to let the actuator do the work. Key on, engine off, tap the pedal if needed, and never fight the spring. Japanese drive-by-wire units reward patience and precision. One slip and a simple cleaning job can sideline even the most reliable engine. A rough idle after throttle body cleaning often sends suspicion in the wrong direction. Mechanics know the intake system is full of suspects that can mimic throttle body faults. The mass airflow sensor, MAF, sits upstream, quietly measuring every gram of air. Dust or oil on its wires throws off readings, feeding the engine control unit bad data and causing the engine to stumble or surge. A dirty MAF can trigger the same rough idle surging or check engine light blamed on the throttle body. Careful cleaning with MAF safe spray or a voltage sweep can restore order. Vacuum leaks are another classic culprit. Modern engines rely on a web of hoses, emissions, brake booster, PCV. A cracked hose or loose intake boot lets unmetered air slip past sensors. The giveaway is a faint hiss or whistle, at idle easily missed in a busy shop. Even a small leak can send the engine control unit chasing its tail, opening the throttle to compensate and confusing diagnosis. The PCV valve, if stuck or clogged, floods the intake with crankcase vapors, upsetting idle and fuel trim. Oil residue near the intake, or changes in idle when pinching the PCV hose, point to trouble. A clogged air filter or loose boot after cleaning can also cause lean running or stalling. Each of these faults can copy throttle body symptoms, wasting time and money if overlooked. The right diagnosis starts with a full intake inspection. A seasoned mechanic will tell you, don't guess by ear, check by numbers. After a throttle body cleaning, the first question is whether this rough idle is normal or whether something is wrong. Here is the line in the sand. If your idle jumps more than 30 revolutions per minute above spec and stays there for longer than a few minutes, that is your first warning. A healthy Japanese four-cylinder typically idles between 650 and 750 revolutions per minute. A brief flare after cleaning is expected, but if the needle will not settle or swings in a band wider than 50 revolutions per minute, the engine control unit is still using old values. There is a simple rule that gets passed around in shops. If the idle is more than 30 revolutions per minute high or still bouncing after 10 minutes, stop and check your work. Surging that will not fade, repeated stalling, or a check engine light that lingers after a 5-minute idle are not just teething pains. They are red flags. Think of it as a ladder. Step 1. Watch the idle for 5 minutes. If it is stable, drive a short loop. If it remains smooth, you are done. If not, run the make-specific idle relearn. No change? Scan for codes. If the check engine light stays on or the engine speed will not settle, start checking for vacuum leaks, loose intake boots, or dirty mass airflow sensors. Each rung on this ladder rules out a suspect, moving you closer to a real fix. The numbers do not lie. Use them, and you will know when to walk away and when to dig deeper. Right now, a quick cleaning can turn your Japanese engine's idle into a guessing game. Modern engine control units adapt in ways that old-school fixes can't predict. The next time rough idle strikes, remember, sometimes it is not dirt, but misunderstood technology. Check twice. Your engine's health depends on it.